Hello, everybody. It is me, Jake Gutzeit. This is the SVP Showcase. What month is it again? That's right, February. Of course, known as the Love Month by a lot of people out there. Now, I don't need any help with any of that, but you might. So, this showcase, I'm gonna be, throwing you around, giving you some tips, some tricks. So maybe by the end of this wonderful barrage of content, go out and pick yourself up a date. Let's get right into it. So you got your eye on someone pretty, someone special, someone handsome. You got to go get them, but you don't want to go looking cheesy or desperate. Use a pickup line. Of course, they work 90% of the time, so I've heard. Here's one I'll give you for free. I'd like to take you out to a movie, but I hear they don't allow outside snacks. Speaking of movies, here's the quick take.
Stavarish Poruski, it's your friend Horacio Zaglimbia, aka the Baby Communist, and I'm here on the set of The Quick Take, and joining me, again, young Keanu, Noah Tulin. Noah, thanks for joining us. This is partially your show, I think, now. You've been on it enough that I think if this were stock, I think you would own stock in the company.
You think so? You think maybe like way years down the line, I would still be doing this show, and I might look different?
Possibly.
Even as bad as yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm future Noah. Welcome to the set of The Quick Take. The years have been rough on me. I just turned 30, so...
In vampire years.
Things have, my body has degraded a lot, so, who knows?
I got that to look forward to.
You might be looking into your future. Tonight we are reviewing the reboot of the Transformers franchise, Bumblebee. And boy, does that not sound like a fun time. It's gonna be a tough review. I might not review it, I might talk about other things.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, but let's take a quick break and talk about it right after the theme song. Welcome back to The Quick Take. As I said in our intro, we are reviewing... Put that down. Why do you always... Okay.
Just keep talking.
All right. Welcome back to The Quick Take. And as I said in our intro, we are reviewing Bumblebee, the rebooted Transformers movie. The franchise is apparently tired, played out, and they're restarting it brand new with, of course, the titular Bumblebee. This is basically Transformers 1 with a female Shia LaBeouf. Set in the 1980s, and everything else is exactly the same. The plot, the characters, their motivation, the transforming. But, of course, customarily, here's the plot synopsis from IMDb.com. On the run, in the year 1987, Bumblebee finds refuge in a junkyard in a small Californian beach town. Charlie, on the cusp of turning 18 and trying to find her place in the world, discovers Bumblebee battle-scarred and broken. Blah, blah, blah. So Noah, I think I know what you'll say, but I don't know. Just what do you think of this? What do you think of this dumb movie?
I thought it was all right.
Really?
It's very much like the first one, but if they, I think someone along the line saw Iron Giant and realized that hadn't been remade, so they took half the story elements from that and put it in this movie instead of the Allspark nonsense. And it's way better. Do you think this is better than the first one? Or
I
do you think
it's on
improved?
par with the first one. They both have the same level of charm, just in different ways. I thought this one was really, really cheesy. There was so much imagery of the 1980s. They clubbed you over the head. Were you confused that we were in the 80s? Because I don't know, 3 minutes into the movie, there were 75 different references to it being 1987.
It didn't have a synthwave score, though. So that was the biggest difference. If we just want to go purely technical-wise.
Let's do that, and let's make this quick because I can't stand talking about Transformers for another goddamn movie review.
Horacio and I just saw the newest video game by Michael Bay, Transformers: The Last Night.
Transformers movies have gotten worse every single movie.
I'm gonna go on record and say that this is one of the worst movies.
Absolutely.
I think it's way better than the Michael Bay one, because the Michael Bay one seemed to just be, it's usually like used as like a tentpole for like bad films because it basically just gets, the whole series in general gets everything wrong, from like exposition to character writing to arcs, action. Everything it tries to do, it does wrong.
You're taking a long time.
This one at least seems to be structured like an actual movie. While that shouldn't be praiseworthy, it does set it above, like a bar higher. This is like the DC problem we have. All of the movies have been terrible, or basically all of them have been terrible. So when you have something like Wonder Woman, which is just, it's structured like a movie, like actual real movies, as opposed to that other garbage, people will start to be will give it, brownie points for actually being well structured. And that's happened a lot recently. And I mean, I think the biggest problem with this movie is that it's too much of that. They seem to just be too stuck to this blueprint of like kids movie. And I think that's the biggest problem with it, is that it figured out what mold it was going for, and it just stuck with that, basically.
I disagree. I didn't think that the structure at all followed a good movie structure. I thought that everything seemed random. Everything was dependent on you knowing already the story of Transformers, which of course you already do, because we've had 5 movies, and we're doing it again. While it was better than Transformers 2, Transformers 3, Transformers 4, and Transformers 5, yes, the total of 5 Transformers movies, saying that it's better than the other Transformers movies should not be praise. Let's go through it quick. What did you think of the acting? 3-word answers.
Protagonist was okay.
John Cena was bad. What did you think of CGI?
Kind of here or there.
That was 4 words. Plot.
I don't really remember it.
Of course you don't remember it. And that's the problem. That's the problem with all these dumb reboots. They literally recycle the plot and you forget about it. It's lost in all the movies, and they've done it time and time again. I think that's what this quick take should be about. Should be about what the hell is happening in Hollywood with these dumb reboots every 3 years of brand new franchises. So what are you gonna give this movie out of 5 whatevers?
Yeah, so
This again?
I'm gonna give it 2.5 Michael Bay's failing careers out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 2 yellow Autobot symbols because whatever, it was a movie and I sat through it and I liked the CGI. We're gonna take a quick edit break and we're gonna start talking about something that's more important, and that is the state of Hollywood and reboots. So give us a minute, we'll be right back. Welcome back to The Quick Take. So, Noah, what are your thoughts on reboots and why do they make you angry? Because I know they make you angry.
I think reboots and remakes I think they make sense. It's one of those things where it's been done wrong way too many times for people to give credit to the times in which it would work. So like for this one movie that we're no longer talking about, I think it kind of makes sense because they were all bad and fundamentally they did not work as what they were shooting for. I think that's the kind of thing you want to remake, is something that didn't work. But that's not the stuff that gets the money or funding to do that because it wasn't popular in the first place. And studios can't tell which is what, so they just think, okay, it's just a terrible idea, let's never look at it again. Another aspect of that would be something that changes with the times. So like something with the benefit of like our technology today, or like the climates of today can change the way we look at something. You have Planet of the Apes on there, that changes very much throughout the different ages. And it's because it's very ingrained in like how humanity treats one another, and I think that's a message that can stick, There
are different ways to do that, and that's my complaint. You can find different stories to get those messages across. Although I like it, we don't need to remake Planet of the Apes 2 different times. We can find different ways and different stories to do it.
Spider-Man is probably the worst example of it. There was like no time in between them rebooting them, and then last one was just to bring it into a big franchise, which is a whole nother problem. It just seemed pointless because it's like the public consciousness still was aware of the last version of it. To the new one, it's just like, why are we doing this over again?
Sure.
And the bigger problem is remaking things that are classics or things that you can't really do a better version of.
Sure.
Like even remakes that aren't just terrible films unto themselves, even when they're good, it's not as good as the original, so why even bother?
Obviously, Hollywood is cashing in for that money. They know that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is gonna have parents bringing their kids because, oh, I remember when I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in theaters. They're just banking on our feelings. They're banking on us throwing the money at them simply because of nostalgia. That is emotional terrorism, and I do not like emotional terrorists. I think this is a topic too big for the both of us, just two of us to discuss.
Terrorism?
That too. So I think we need to bring on a couple of more special guests. So we're gonna take a quick edit break and swap some mics. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to The Quick Take. Joining me now is Dustin Hendricks, filmmaker and distant cousin to Jimi Hendrix. If you look closely, you'll see the resemblance in the face.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
So Dustin, we're talking about reboots.
Yes.
And something tells me that you're now going to defend it, and I'm not going to be happy with you.
Not so much defend it, but in some cases, when enough time passes, it gets kind of past the point where it wouldn't really make sense to do a sequel.
Sure.
So in some cases, it makes sense to do a sequel, like a light reboot. Like for example, the Evil Dead. And they were able to kind of go back to the original, like Evil Dead. Like it was trying to be like just shocking horror that's like brutal.
Sure.
They kind of went into slapstick territory in the sequels.
This is my boomstick.
You know, Fede Alvarez, like I personally think he did an amazing job with that film.
Sure.
And then you have Blade Runner 2049, where you're able to do a sequel that's also kind of a reboot too.
I don't think those are considered reboots. If they're in the franchise, if they continue the storyline, if they continue the characters, that to me is, I don't consider that a soft reboot, anything of that nature. That's just a sequel. And sequels are fine until you get to the 9th film in the franchise where it's just beating a dead horse, or the 5th, Transformers Last Night, I'm looking at you.
Well, I think a sequel can effectively reboot a franchise. It doesn't have to be considered a reboot per se, but it can be a sequel, and you can introduce like older elements that are familiar to the people that are familiar with the original property. But it doesn't have to be necessarily a reboot where you're hitting every single beat, where it's just a retread of the original.
I don't like that you're defending Hollywood in this. It makes me
Not
really
defending
angry.
Hollywood, but there are some talented filmmakers that do respect the original property, and they want to continue it in a way that pays tribute and respects the originals. What I didn't like when they rebooted Spider-Man with The Amazing Spider-Man, it just did not feel like enough time had passed since Spider-Man 3.
Right.
So it just felt like this is too soon. Then we had Cabin Fever remake. Or reboot, whatever you call it.
Sure.
And it just felt like way too soon. Like
How much time needs to pass before you're allowed to completely reboot the franchise or a movie, completely recast the same characters? How much time needs to pass for you?
maybe 10 years. 10 years doesn't really seem like enough.
Nope.
And it needs to make sense. Well, difference in like decades, you know, technology changes, things change in different cultures. So in some cases, it can make sense to take it into a new direction. But you know, Hollywood, it is a system. You know, it's a business, so they're going to look for bankable films that they're pretty much guaranteed to get money back.
Which is a terrible system, and that's why any kind of remake, in my opinion, any kind of reboot, doesn't really work for me.
Yeah, and fair enough.
I don't respect your opinion. Reboots are never okay. Get out of here! Welcome back to The Take. All the special guests that I've had on our set have clearly been okay with Hollywood just gouging their pockets and ripping their heart out and stomping all over it. So you know what? We need to bring someone who I know will hate everything about what we're talking about. And he is, of course, the Magic Man, the master of mischief, Matthew Frederick McCormick.
Do you know how many Quick Take episodes I've bailed on because it was a sequel or a reboot? Bumblebee was one of them. I actually legitimately had car problems, but Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Transformers. Who did the studio?
I can see where this is going. Yes. Tell me, what do you think about the trend of rebooting every single franchise and not making anything new?
Oh, well, Hollywood's dead.
Wow.
Cinema's dead. We can pack it up, go home. Do you want to know the top 20 movies of this year?
Absolutely.
Number 1, Black Panther. Infinity War coming in number 2. Number 3, Incredibles 2. Number 4, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Number 5, Deadpool 2. Number 6, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. Number 7, Mission Impossible Fallout. Number 8, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And number 9, Solo, a Star Wars story. 10, Venom. How the f did that happen? 11, A Star is Born. 12, A Quiet Place. 13, Bohemian Rhapsody. 14, Crazy Rich Asians. 15, Hotel Transylvania 3. 16, Halloween 2018. 17, Ralph Breaks the Internet. 18, Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. 19, The Meg. 20, Ocean's 8. Now, I know I read those off very quickly, but do you know out of all those 20, how many of those are original ideas?
I was counting the opposite way. Probably 1 or 2.
3, A Quiet Place, Crazy Rich Asians, and The Meg. Out of the top 20 movies of 2018.
But some of those were sequels. Some of those
were sequels. Some of those are the 5th and 6th and 8th version into a franchise.
Right.
What the f are we doing?
So you are not a big fan of reboots or sequels.
I'm not a fan of anything that's not original. What I want to know is why people are only obsessed with properties they can find in theme parks, why people are so quick to defend their fandom, or why people are so quick to not expand their bubble.
Sure.
And I feel like we're losing a lot of history, we're losing a lot of talent. A lot of people will say these filmmakers are very talented people, but they are simply studio f***ing hired guns. What you think you see as originality is only approved originality. The reason Thor Ragnarok was so different is because the first 2 Thor movies sucked. If everyone said those first 2 Thor movies were great, do you really think that you would have gotten Ragnarok? Studios only want to do something different when they realize, oh, well, the thing that we've been doing doesn't work. Hence why you get Bumblebee. 5 Transformers movies for Paramount to realize, oh, people don't like the Transformers movies. Maybe we should reboot them. And now you just get your passable Christmas garbage. You have your horror movies, and you had a great year for horror. You had Get Out and A Quiet Place come out within 12 months of each other. But all people seemed to give a about this year was Halloween.
But again, another sequel.
Another sequel, another franchise, another entry into the marketing machine.
Wow, so we've changed the topic not just about reboots or remakes, and now you just hate franchises in general.
It's all the same thing. The reason you get reboots and remakes is because of franchises. Infinity War, as much praise as it got, was only half a movie. And that's what you're getting with all these things. You're not getting a fully fledged movie. I didn't see the last Jurassic Park. Did it have a finite ending? No. Did there have like a concrete ending to Jurassic Park?
It's sequel bait. The trailer's the ending.
See, there you go. When Steven Spielberg made Jurassic Park in 1992, outside of the booked sequel, do you really think that the plans to make $1 billion more were there? Same thing with Star Wars. I mean, George Lucas lucked the out because he realized what Star Wars was, and Disney doesn't realize what it is. Let's take the prequels, for example. They're meant to be an homage to the early Flash Gordon movies, what the whole franchise was based off of, and when you look at them in that light, totally fine. They're paced like a movie from the 50s.
Sure.
But everyone f***ing hated them. And then as soon as Disney was like, hey guys, new Star Wars, everyone was freaking their shit out. Here's what happened in that process. That entire extended universe that we all been like basing all of our imagination, all that fun for the past 20 years, gone. Out the window. Doesn't count anymore. Now if it doesn't fit into our theme park plan, which we're building 3 of, not gonna fly. Oh, all these new stories these are all canon, but you're gonna hate them. They follow a perfectly normal franchise formula. Chump them out, chump them out, chump them out, bring in the money, bring in the money, bring in the money. They're not selling toys anymore.
Right.
It's a whole different market.
And that's what makes it bad.
What makes it bad is that the media itself is the property now. Whereas before, you would have things based off of the property. You would have toys and t-shirts and all this other stuff, but now, this is the product, so you have to churn out more of the product. Whereas before, you could take 5 to 6 years to make a movie because the movie was something different. The movie was the Bible, the source code, but now, in the age of Netflix and easy binging and cheap entertainment, it's just another cheap piece of thing for you to swallow. They don't give a shit about what's coming up next year because this is more of the same repeatable garbage. We could go through next year's catalog and you could see what's coming down the line. When it gets to the point where the Coen brothers have to make something on Netflix for it to get seen, and all of the big Academy Award winning contender movies are going on to Netflix and not into the cinemas because the cinemas are overrun with franchise IP garbage, cinema is dead, and it is because of movies like Bumblebee, like Spider-Man, like the MCU. For all the great that it's done over the past 10 years, it has changed the landscape of cinema to where it is something unrecognizable and cheap.
I feel like you've been hurt in your life, Matt. I feel like the past 20 years have really grabbed you by the balls and really ripped you asunder.
We grew up in the late 80s, early 90s where we had like this boom of creative cinema. Even if it wasn't great, it was creative. Like Ferris Bueller and Weird Science and Back to the Future, and going into the early 90s, like shit like Mars Attacks and Beetlejuice and all those things that, you know, now we look back as like classics, and what are we offering now? And now we're coming into a problem where movies like Venom, which tanked here but did $600 million in China, are now dictating what American studios make. So now it's not only what do the American audiences want, it's now what do the audiences across the world want, and we're not divvying up those things. So everyone is getting the same plate in a world where everyone wants their media and all of their entertainment severely marketed and limited. On your Netflix queues and on your Spotify, you have your specific playlists and your specific things that you go to. That is your specific catered thing. And what we're doing is we're taking these mass media properties and trying to do that same thing. Where it's like, all right, well, this appeals to the most people, let's put that out. Because you can't individualize with a $150 million budget. You can't make one thing for everybody.
Man, I thought I hated remakes.
It is a cancer of the industry, and it will kill us. It will. Because there's going to get to a point where if your media, your IP doesn't have a 10-picture franchise with it, it's not getting made. You're not getting past the pitch room. You're not getting a proof of concept. It's sad that when a company that's over $200 billion in debt and is technically bankrupt, leading the industry.
Well,
and
Matt,
that's what I'm going to say about that.
all right.
And even they're doing reboots and fucking shit. Haunting a Hill House, already done. Sabrina, done. It's all fucking the same shit. So what my problem is there originality? And is there originality that can get seen like it would have 20, 30 years ago? Or has the internet created a monster that we cannot stop? Because at the same point, we have all these great creative things, but at the same time, it's all getting washed up in the same rigmarole to where only the familiar is what is seen. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of The Quick Take. My name is Matt McCormick. As always, you can find us on Gmail. You can follow Horacio on Grindr. Aiden's on Instagram, I think, sometimes. I'm out there, so you can find me. And that'll do it. Burn down your local cinema, everybody. Punk rock will never die. Do-do-do-do-do-do. One step at a time. In the blink of an eye, I'm learning to live. Our cinema degrees are useless. One step at a time. In the blink of an eye, one step, woo!
Future can't happen. Right?
Ooh. Using Tinder is also a method that you can maybe get a date this holiday season. But I just think that I found the gold, baby. Just like in this month's episode of Go for the Gold. Tune in and find out who's the big winner of the first part episode.
Ooh-wee. Do we have something special for everyone today?
We got some treats.
We got treats.
Some snacks for Jack.
And we got a spicy gentleman joining us today. His name
His default dance.
This is Zach Maselli. He will be joining us for today's super special episode of Go for the Gold. All right, so the reason we have so many people here is because we got a lot of stuff. It's an extra special episode. Oh, huh. 2 booster boxes of Vic Pokemon cards.
Look at this.
So, basically, the gimmick here is there's 36 cards in a pack, times 2 is 72, divided by 3 is 24. That's so much more than we do normally, so this will be split into 2 separate episodes. For 1. For 2, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shuffling all the cards around and we're each going to be picking, you know, our packs or whatever, but we're going to see at the end who pulled the most amount of resale value or whatever with the cards that were open. So we're going to start with a ton, and at the end there will be a victor with a completely arbitrary resale value amount that won.
They will get the winner's medal.
That's right. All right, so let's get started and rip this open.
Dang. It's thick.
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna mix these up in their respective assortments, and then we each get to choose 12. Okay, that's not what I had in mind, but it's fine.
I was like, wait a minute.
That was not the plan. In this, we have Lost Thunder and Burning Shadows. I'll put up on screen an extremely valuable card from Burning Shadows. That'd be cool to get.
No choice.
For the first part of the episode,
Gotta be quick.
we're gonna do one of these 2 stacks. So let's just. I'm setting my extra stack up here. Bryce, if you want to hand me your extra stack, Zach, you can put yours up there. But this is what we're going to be going through in part 1. All right, boys. Okay, I fixed the lighting. Anyway, all right, let's just go pack by pack, and you'll see the prices on screen for the rares that we get. Maybe other fun things, just in case.
Wait. Who wants to trade?
Oh, trading! Oh, okay.
Forgot about the trade.
All right. My first Lost Thunder pack, I'll trade for your first Lost Thunder pack.
I'll accept that trade.
All right. It's a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Wants to trade my last Burning Shadows pack.
For my last Burning Shadows pack? Absolutely, sir. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
May the best man win.
Okay. Let's get into it. Marini, Lantern, 3, 2, 1. Garbage. Ooh. All right. We got a tie. We got a tie. So
First pack.
we're starting up the prices. I should probably start a list somewhere on screen.
Good job.
All right.
Put those in a pile.
All right, I got a reverse rare. That's cool.
Oh,
okay. Okay, got a prism card.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice start. Cool one.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'm.
Ooh! Boys, all right, off to a good start.
First GX of the thing.
Okay, should we count
GX?
if we get a reverse rare in our rare pile?
I feel like.
Should we count that?
I mean, a prism.
A prism should count as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about.
So normal rares, reverse rares, prism cards.
You might as well just keep them.
Yeah. Add them up.
If it's like significant.
Yeah. Have you not?
I don't think so. That's surprising.
All right.
And here we go.
Zach wins
another
that
hollow.
round. Okay.
Hollow
so-
Raichu. Bada bing. You know what's surprising?
Rare.
All of us haven't gotten garbage at the same time.
Huh. I mean, the odds are low. at
I
this
haven't
point.
gotten garbage at all. Well, good for you. What can I say? Good
Hey,
things.
who wants to trade?
What are you opening? Want your
I'm
trash
opening
pack.
Burning Shadows. All right, boys.
Do it. Open that.
Let's see if I regret my life choices.
Same. And Dynamo and nope.
It didn't matter.
Wow, we got Poopy on.
Poopy.
Ryan,
Reverse trainer.
good face.
And
Sunfisk.
Boom. Garbage.
Ka-chow, garbage.
Oh, all right. Giratina. Hollow.
Giratina Hollow, that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. Boom. Rare. All right.
Custom.
What did I do?
Go backwards. You just go backwards.
Okay.
Oh man, this
We're
is a
going.
new strat. Next time we start with the reverse and go backwards.
Okay. All right. I think I only have 2 cards left. Oh look, it is trash. It didn't even matter.
And nothing.
I got a hand.
I got a spider bug.
Stop.
Doo-doo don.
Oh!
Ooh. Hey,
Prism.
that's kind of spicy.
That's cool.
That's kind of cool.
An amorphous blob.
Has joined the field.
All right, let's get it.
Up, hollow tabulele. Not the tabulele we're looking for.
We can't even get that in the set. We already had our
That's
chance
fine.
at that. Go watch the Guardians Rising episode. Shameless plug.
Just keep doing threes.
All right,
Go for the gold.
Venipede. Help
You did it
me.
again.
Okay. Hey, I got the Sandygast and the Halo Sand. That's fun.
It's the expert strats. Should hold the mic.
Gross.
Oh, maybe that's a bad idea.
Ooh.
All right, do I only have no?
Psycho.
I mean, I already know I got a green card. This was the
Arrow.
rare. I already showed it. All
Onyx. More
right, Zach, please.
Here it is. Poopied. Oh no.
Wow, this is the
Poopied.
worst.
Big poopy. Just think about it.
Yeah,
More packs, dude.
Just think about it. Think
We're-
about it.
We're 2/3 through a box, basically.
Yeah. All right, what
And
one
we
is this?
pulled one GX.
Yeah, we pulled one GX. Okay, so then this is the one where you pull it off the back like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. Nice one.
Please, Big Papa Pokemon, I would like a secret hyper mega rare. Thanks.
All right.
Metal
And here we are.
nut.
Oh!
Look at that boy!
Papa Pokemon, you were almost there. One to your right, brother. One to your right, brother.
Look at that one.
Holy crap.
That's pretty shiny, if I have to say.
That's some gold right there. If I do say so myself.
Oh, gamers.
Epic game here.
When was the last time I got a white card? Zach's got all the white cards and now this beautiful,
And finally,
beautiful. Oh, all right.
what a good card.
Zach, please show that to the camera a little bit.
It's
Thank you. Oh my word. That's probably worth a pretty penny. I guess I don't know where
Just
the
a
meta
little
is now, but congratulations, Zach.
Shadow.
You are
Thank
a
you.
true G.
The game's not over yet, though. We still got a couple packs.
It's true. Big Papa Pokemon's got me on this pack.
That's right, Big Papa.
Monkey.
Okay, let's all reveal.
Basically, I'm monkey.
Mudsdale.
Trash.
Don't you like
that
the-
one, boy?
It's like this person with the hands and it's like cutting a monkey's hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bryce, hold out your hands real quick. All right.
Dude, one of these has to be like the good one.
Yeah.
The full art set.
All right. Yeah,
Wait,
there
no,
has to be
actually-
a full art soon, right?
No, not necessarily because we mixed it all up. So
Oh
the
yeah,
bulk
you're
of them
right.
could be in
Yeah,
there.
you're right. Okay. All right. Last point.
okay.
Boom. Shedinja.
Break.
Boom.
Heracross.
Arachnid.
Seriously?
No guts.
This has been
no
my
glory.
only pull. I haven't even gotten a
Bryce
hollow.
hasn't gotten
I
any
haven't-
GX yet.
I'm done. I've been finished by this box.
Well, box is a relative term this round. All right,
This
last
round.
pack.
These boxes.
Last pack. This is the last pack that I traded with Zach.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Okay, so this is your pack, right?
Oh, that is my pack. That was your pack that I just had.
See this one? That was his. Let's see what mine would have been.
Oh, Zach, you already finished. Oh wait, no.
No, I got Lost Thunder.
All right, last one, boys.
Weakness. Obvious.
Ooh, Zach, listen.
Prism.
Zach, honey, darling, sweetie, sweaty.
Look, you're beating us too bad right now.
Sorry.
You're gonna make us look bad.
What about this next card? What about this next card, guys?
Boom. Ooh, okay, all right.
Ooh.
Wow, Hollow,
Hollow.
Marshadow GX, and a Grand Ball. All right, so Zach is just the master of luck. This was his pack, keep in mind.
Oh yeah, that's
So, I don't know, brother. So I suppose that's the end of the first round. First episode.
First round. All of our good gold.
Let's tally it up. Jake, 2 GXs. Bryce, 3 hollows and 1 prism.
Hold on, I got a lot of stuff.
Zach has a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me put it in order. There.
Holy crap.
Look at all the shiny.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Dang.
I just spit.
This is.
That is so insane. It makes me so happy to see that thing.
Dang, brother.
Wonderful.
All right. There's, you know, the scores. Place your bets for episode 2. Who's gonna come out the real victor? We all know Zach was the real victor of episode 1.
He has a big leg up.
Yep. Yep.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Watch the next episode.
Alrighty, well, until then, stay tuned.
Please.
Stay tuned.
Please.
All right, so maybe you're having some relationship issues around this time of month. We don't want that. So who better to talk to than the hosts of The Breakdown? They've got it all on lock, baby. They've got anything you want, anything you need. If you want to rejuvenate your relationship from dust to gold, hit them up.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I take a breakdown. We break down. We break down. We break down.
What's good, y'all? Today is officially January 7th, meaning it's the start of Omicron's Sigma Week. First, what's up, bro? Say what's good to the people.
What's the deal, bro? You know, we out here trying to show out, writing down these questions for him. Look at you trying to get the focus in.
I am.
Trying to get these questions in before people start coming, bro. You feel me?
Oh, slacker. Why you ain't do that earlier? What you expect?
No.
But wasn't she just talking about,
I have a fear of rejection. Listen, do you want my number? No. Can I have yours? No. Would you like to go on a date? No.
So Paris, you can just stand.
Yeah. Hi!
What?
How do I become Phi Sigma Sigma? Sign me up right now.
All right, I got you.
Hey, Greek shenanigans.
I'm the joy.
Event's about to get started though. We waiting on a couple more people to come through, you feel me? Somebody about to find the wife today. Talking about thumbs in the butt.
No, that's you.
That, yo.
Yo, let me find out.
You do what? What? Jay Hayes, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man.
Hey, bro, you looking good, bro. That only looking smooth. Stalling on him.
What's your girl name? She want my number.
Hey, you're not gonna hit the walk though. You're not gonna hit the walk though. Be careful, this is going on the internet.
To be famous, not well.
Technology, bro, is officially. This is not your first Sigma week, is it?
It is my first Sigma.
Your first Sigma week. So last time it was Blue and White week. Oh, Limelight.
What I'm saying, this is our personal thing. 580 Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
You getting real close. I ain't got the zoom on. Hold on.
Omicron chapter be notorious. Omicron chapter.
Oh, are y'all notorious?
No, notorious.
Oh, you find out. You find out. Flex on them.
Then we'll actually start to like speed dating part of They want to congregate in this general area right here.
First, you ready to find me a wife? I don't think she's here yet, though.
She here already, bro.
You think so?
You gotta believe, man. That's messed up.
Go ahead. Well, he came swagged out, ready to find a wife. Go ahead. Put the phones up. That's the problem with this generation. Come on. Oh, okay. All right, never mind. I didn't mean to mess up your play. Don't be ashamed. It's the first time for everything.
I was following him on Instagram.
Oh.
I'm ashamed. I failed. I've already failed.
Damn, Q. Talk about it.
Okay. What's up, Mr. Blake?
You not trying to date him?
I ain't trying to date you. He wait.
He what? He ugly. That's the only problem?
Yeah.
Disown. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your whole family.
What'd you say?
Oh, not you. Hey.
We'll walk over here, we ain't got no questions. We was doing good like a minute ago.
Go ahead, just get some honest, candid talk, you feel me? How does it feel to be Greek? Are you angry like the rest of them? No, he's not.
She ain't gotta ask that. I'm not even Greek. Why you putting out my business? Hey, don't this shit. Let me switch now.
He part of Phi Sigma Sigma? You know that's a sorority, right?
Huh?
You know that's a sorority, right?
I'm in a sorority. We can. Oh, I'm about to say.
Oh, you done, huh?
Hey, look.
The one time you don't want to be we found out.
Wow. Nah, say it. Say what you gotta say. Get it. You better.
All right, so here's the classic conundrum. You gotta get a gift. What do you get? Flowers. No, you get chocolates. You wanna know why? Because we're all starving college students out here. We need that sustenance. We need that grade A sugar. Flowers, chocolates? No, double chocolates. Anyway, here's on a roll.
I hope you choke on a Valentine heart. One of those chalk ones so it doesn't dissolve very well.
What would be the most embarrassing food to get killed by?
Cow testicle, like bull testicle or something.
Welcome to Honor Roll, everyone. OUTV's premier variety show. At least that's what we're calling it.
Talk show.
Talk show. I never get it right. And I probably won't. This is our Valentine's Day segment. And instead of doing anything remotely related to Valentine's, like making hearts or talking about the people we love and care about, we're reviewing a violent horror film.
As you do.
Okay, everyone, we're back. And joining me, I didn't introduce them because I don't really care too much for them, but joining us is filmmaker, film critic, film achiever, Dustin Hendricks.
Thanks for having me here. Nice to see you. Always a pleasure. Yeah.
We love having Dustin here.
It makes me feel better about myself.
And that's what you need for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Or ripping someone's heart out. Also joining me is Horatio.
The premier movie reviewer on this show. I've graced my presence for you guys because I have another show, if you don't know. It's called The Take and The Quick Take, where I review stuff. And so I'm the most qualified to discuss movies on this show.
Ratings are down for them, so he's coming on here to boost the viewership on that show.
You mean your ratings are down?
No. Today we'll be reviewing My Bloody Valentine, the original slasher film.
Not the 3D version?
Not 3D.
I watched the wrong one.
Okay, now that Horatio, you've seen the right version of the movie.
Yes.
What did we think?
Are you going to wear that the whole time?
Wait until he suffocates and passes out.
Perfect.
Then I'll come back years later and take revenge on everyone.
All right, sounds good.
I should probably explain what happens.
Yeah, let's do that.
And that's the thing I thought was interesting is that it's kind of a convoluted series of events that would happen. The bulk of the movie, or what you're there to see for, is basically a bunch of dumb teens go to a mine and get murdered horribly. That's basically what you're going to see this movie for, and like the gore effects and everything like that. But it was like 20 years before like the movie proper, there was a mining accident, and it was
on Valentine's Day.
And it was blamed on 2 supervisors who left to go to this stupid big Valentine's dance that they had.
I mean, what else are you going to do to take a break from mining?
Yeah, and basically all the miners that were trapped in the mine died besides one, and the guy survived because he murdered everyone and ate their bodies to stay alive.
Well, that's not, you don't know that. He might have just eaten their dead bodies. You can't just assume. It's 2019. Don't assume.
No. You gotta go for the gold.
Maybe he had a Cliff Bar. Who knows? No?
I don't think they were invented in the 1960s.
Maybe.
And then 20 years later, they have the Valentine's Day dance because they think it's safe. And Harry Warden comes back and murders a bunch of the 20-something-year-olds partying at and in a mine.
Which I guess, I don't know, maybe that's what you do in Canada.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. It's warm probably, and no, it's cold. It's in the earth.
Yeah, so, I don't know. This movie came out like 2 years, like 2 years after basically the slasher template was set by Halloween. And this movie I don't know, it kind of follows some of the format. It's definitely in that genre, but it's not as blatant of a ripoff as, say, like Friday the 13th is.
Really? I think it's more of a ripoff. It's more blatant. It's framed around a holiday. It's got the holiday in the title, and it's a guy who wears a mask and preys on a town because he's a psychopath.
What do you think, Dustin?
Well, I was going to say that it plays on the conventions set with like Halloween. Yeah. So like you're expecting that it's Harry Warden who's the one that went crazy 20 years prior. So the whole time you're expecting that's him. So it plays on the audience's expectations. Like, is it Harry Warden or is it someone else?
Right. But I don't think. But the question never arises. They just assume it's Harry Warden until the very last 5 minutes, and then it's just a cheap twist.
Well, I think the problem with the twist more so is that I like what it was going for, but the explanation for it is a brief flashback that the killer has to himself. The other characters never figure out why the guy did it. They ask him why, and he sits there and goes, and then it flashes back, and then the movie ends, basically. Yeah. Man,
you got tired of wearing that, huh?
That's rough. It's Axel who fakes his death just briefly beforehand, and yeah, the explanation you get is just before he's about to kill someone, he has a flash and you see that Harry Warden killed his dad. Oh no.
Wow. But there's no lead up. For 20 years, he's just the sane guy who everything's fine.
He has Valentine's Day dance. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Even though he's helping actually put together the Valentine's Day dance, he's the one helping decorate.
It's just how maniacal he is. It's like they don't know what they're in for.
Are you sure it's how maniacal he is or how bad the writing is?
It's a mixture of both.
I mean, it's with all these. You're not here for the story. It's just
usually there to see the gore and the boobs.
Yeah, which there's none of.
I thought there was.
It was Canada. They had to be modest.
Ah, yes.
They cut out 9 minutes of footage.
Yeah, and they had to cut out all the violence. So that's basically what this movie's well known for, is that they had to cut 9 minutes in total from the final film. And 3 minutes of that was death scenes, dialogue.
I definitely saw the cut version. I didn't see the extended. I looked for some scenes because the one, I think it was Felicia. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Sylvia.
How did she die? I don't remember anything.
It's a guy who's Harry Warden. The killer comes and grabs her, carries her into the showers, and impales her on a shower head.
And then you just see water spewing out of her head and everything like that.
And in the cut version, all you see is when you don't see the actual impalement, you just see her boyfriend come in from a side profile of the water leaking out of her mouth. And I was like, man, what? I want to see that. And so I looked it up on YouTube, and it was pretty cool.
You can thank Paramount for that.
Yeah.
You Paramount.
The funny thing about it is that, Paramount, they cut out 9 minutes, and because it was too violent and whatnot. So But then it's interesting to see that the reviews were still people complaining about how violent and like gory and like graphic it is. So you can see like, this was a very different time period.
And
people were
country.
very like sensitive to violence and gore.
Especially the Canadians.
Yeah. That's not good, eh?
Yeah. That's not nice, eh? Don't be killing
Take
people,
extra
eh?
rocks, not for people, eh?
I'm sorry. We can't show that in theaters. I'm sorry.
I think you're going to alienate your Canadian audience.
I don't need you anymore. I'm over 19.
Up next, we got a brand new episode of Hot Takes and Mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, don't forget to wrap your willy this holiday season because, wow, that would be bad if that went south. Anyway, here's the show.
The next thing I actually wanted to talk about, though,
very important
was
world
this
news,
important
right?
news that came out yesterday that the rapper 21 Savage was arrested by ICE and being deported back to the UK, where they say that he's from because his visa expired. Now, here's the thing. His entire persona, right? His entire catalog of music, his entire like everything he's put out, like it says that he's like from Atlanta, and he's like never, like ever once been associated with being, not from Atlanta. So people like, I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of people that like look to him as like Atlanta, like he's theirs, right? And now like.
No.
This is just some random news that, like, I don't think anyone would have saw this coming ever.
So did he live in Atlanta?
Well,
or what's the deal with that?
I guess what is the reports say right now is that he came over when he was 12 or 14 or something like that,
and
then his visa expired. But the thing is, he's been like. He goes on world tours, you know what I mean? Like, how would they not have caught this, like...
I don't know.
Before, because I don't know.
Well, did the visa just expire? Is that why?
No, it said it's been expired for a long time. I don't know. That's
I didn't look too much into this, but I just saw all the memes.
Yeah, that's the best part right now is all the memes.
The one that's like, he's got a girl who's 5'5", and this is like Queen Elizabeth.
5'5", she's my ride or die, and then... the Queen Elizabeth is 5'5", so there's lots of
that's what he was talking about.
Entertaining stuff, about him right now. But that's a very interesting story that I don't know. It was a shocker to everybody yesterday, right before the Super Bowl. So
true.
I found that to be pretty.
So was he gonna? Did you know if he was gonna attend the Super Bowl at all?
No, I mean he's from Atlanta, so that's also why it was kind of interesting. Is that that's where the Super Bowl was yesterday?
I think that being deported is probably the lesser of the two evils between that and watching the Super Bowl. So
that's true. The Super Bowl was really bad, but hey, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. But last week he was on a late night show performing his new song a lot, and he did a new third verse because J. Cole wasn't there, and he talked about immigration on that song. And how he's putting a hole through the wall that they're building. So, maybe that made him pretty mad, and they're sending him away. I don't know what's going on.
That's true. They investigated him a little more, and they were like, you know what?
Yeah, I don't know how they figured that out, but that's how they didn't before, honestly. But that's really people are saying, look, if 21 Savage is from the UK, why doesn't he have a Peppa Pig accent? Do you know the answer to that? Because I don't. He's a great actor, honestly, because he's never shown any type of accent.
Well, I feel like if you live, he's like, I don't know how old he is right now, but like...
He's like 24, 25, 26.
Okay, so like for half his life...
half of his life he lived there. Like I don't.
Yeah, but the other half he lived here. He lived here. So, I mean...
It's just, like, I don't know. You've never seen it come out. There's this one video, actually, from a little while ago, from an interview, and he's wearing this nice jacket, and he's like... I think I wear this to, drink tea, eat some crumpets. It's elegant, and like everyone just like pulled it up now. They're like, "Oh, we should have known." like he was telling us the whole time. So yeah, that's a funny story.
Yeah, that is pretty strange. But I feel like after 12 years, you would lose the accent. Or I don't know if his parents had any accent, so maybe they just taught him to speak the way they do, which was not in an accent.
Yeah, that's a good
Who
point.
knows? Also interesting, you called it a Peppa Pig accent.
That's what people are saying on Twitter.
I believe there's a different name for
the Peppa Pig accent.
I believe there's a different name for the Peppa Pig accent, but I can't place it right now.
That's what's on
Maybe
there.
British.
Oh yeah,
English.
Dang. Okay, Peppa Pig is just such a big deal around my household.
That's true.
You know, my sister, she loves Peppa Pig. Actually coming to the mall soon, the Great Lakes Crossing Mall, is Peppa Pig World.
Maybe we'll see 21 Savage there.
Oh, maybe he'll go there.
Maybe he'll be working there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you for the news update on 21 Savage. That was really appreciated.
We have reached the end of this month's SVP Showcase. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope all you fellas and ladies out there find someone to cuff this holiday season. Best of luck. I definitely don't need any help. I don't need any of that help at all. Anyway, thank you. Also, I'm very not single.